Hello, welcome students. Here Sonu sir with a new video of class 7 SST Geography, and in that chapter 2 our earth first. And students, we have been discussed up to types of rocks, and today if we see igneous rocks, that is first type of rocks. Yesterday we have covered that topic near about, but I am starting from there to revise your course. So igneous rocks are known as mainly primary rocks since they are first to be formed. All the rocks types originate from igneous rocks. So first we have to know igneous rocks are primary rocks, means all rocks has been founded by these igneous rocks. So this is first form of any rock that would be igneous, and after that any other form. So if we see they are hard and compact, they do not have remains of plants or animals. So iron, gold, silver and aluminum are found in these rocks. There are two types of igneous rocks, intrusive and extrusive. So students, in whole land part of our earth, the inner part we can say intrusive and the outer part we can say extrusive. So in that, all type of rocks have been founded, and if we see firstly about primary rocks, that igneous rocks, so it is founded in both sides, intrusive igneous rocks and extrusive igneous rocks. So what is firstly we see intrusive igneous rocks. So there are two types, intrusive and extrusive. Intrusive igneous rocks or plutonic rocks are formed when the magma cools below the surface of the earth slowly. So if you see, if you know about volcanic eruption, so in the center of earth, that volcanic eruption occurs and move forwardly up to upper side or front side. So when it increases, it goes up to surface of the earth. But in inner side, if we see intrusive igneous rocks, you can see that. So the inner side is more hot than outer side because here the volcanic eruption started. So that's why cooling process of these rocks is slow. They are more hot compared to that outer side, that extrusive igneous. That's why it cools slowly. It takes more time, and by that the rocks are of larger size in intrusive igneous rocks. And if you see extrusive igneous rocks, so that magma and lava which starts from center goes to surface of the earth, and by there it cools rapidly. That means if the distance increases, from the center, that lava, that magma come to the earth's surface, it starts cooling rapidly, means fastly, because the temperature of upside will be less or decreases because it reaches more distance from its center. So that rocks are some smaller in formation, and these rocks are larger in formation, as here magma cools slowly, here magma cools rapidly. Okay students, we see due to slow cooling, the crystals formed are large in size. Granite and dolerite are example of intrusive igneous rocks. Two examples are there, granite and dolerite. These are intrusive igneous rocks, and it is also known as plutonic rocks. It is also known as plutonic rocks. And we see students, extrusive igneous rocks or volcanic rocks are formed when the lava cools on the surface of the earth. So as by that lava goes to upside and here constructs extrusive igneous rocks. And what are they? Also known as volcanic rocks, because that exact lava goes on the surface of the created rock, that is extrusive igneous rocks. And you have to understand by that what intrusive means inner side and extrusive means upper or outer side, students. Then we see the crystals are smaller in size due to rapid cooling, as I said previously. Here the particles are smaller, rocks are smaller, crystals are smaller, and basalt and obsidian are examples of extrusive igneous rocks. So these two examples are there, basalt and obsidian of extrusive igneous rocks, and the Deccan Plateau in India consists of basalt rocks. If you see, the Deccan Plateau of India is of basalt rocks. This is have to know. Okay, students, now we see sedimentary rocks. What is it? Rocks are acted upon by different forces of nature as flowing water, wind, waves, plants and animals, and they break into fragments. So students, what is weathering? As we know, after rock, it breaks into smaller parts by some natural sources and resources. Reason was there, and we see what was that natural resources and sources by the formation of sediments and sedimentary rocks has been occurred, and we see flowing water, wind, waves, plants and animals, and they break into fragments. So by these outer sources or reasons, wind, water, plant, animals, and you see wind, waves. Okay, so these all are the reason. Waves of sea also can be air waves, in sea waves. So these are all reason that the rocks break through in smaller parts, and by that, and these smaller parts, that fragments is as known as sediments. Okay, which further get deposited by the action of running water, and after some time it also get deposited. And what happens then? Moving ice or wind, the accumulation of these loose rock fragments or sediments take place in layers or strata, hence forming sedimentary rocks. They are also called stratified rocks. So what happens then? The breaking of rocks makes sediments. Then the deposition or gathering of sediments make sedimentary rocks. But that sedimentary rocks, being in a layer, students, you have to understand, being in a layer or strata, these both words are same. So what happens then? So these layers are playing important role. What are these? Hence forming sedimentary rocks. They are also called stratified rocks. So there becomes a layer of rocks. That's why strata. So that's why we say stratified rocks. Layered rocks having many layers. So conglomerate, chalk, gypsum, shale, clay, limestone and sandstone are examples of sedimentary rocks. Students, these are examples of sedimentary rocks. You have to see, and if you can see practically, you have to see. So these are the characteristics of sedimentary rocks. They are softer than igneous rocks. So as you heard earlier, that this inner part, that's why cooling is slowly. That is why the parts are more larger compared than outer side. And here magma cools rapidly. That is why the particles and the fragments are small compared than intrusive igneous rocks or intrusive part. So they get deposited in horizontal layers. If you see, these layers is horizontal sketching it, that would be horizontal. And these rocks have remains of plants and animals called fossils. And in that sediments, how that sediment gathered, and then these rocks have remains of plants and animals called fossils. And in these layers, some fossils means that remains of plants and animals are there. Their remains part, they last which is remain part in the earth we see. So that also these rocks have that type of remains of plants and animals that we call fossil, by that fossil fuels made up of. And this is sedimentary rocks are economically very important because they contain fossil fuels such as petroleum and natural gas in between the strata. So what I said, in between that layers of strata, there are petroleum, there is natural gas, and it is very important economically because natural gas and fossil fuels can be economically helpful. So collect pictures of different types of fossils, sort them into pictures of plant and animal fossils, place them on chart and display this in the class. So you can't display in the class, but you can do this activity in your home. So collect picture of different types of fossils. Fossils means remain part of plants and animals. What is left in the earth in remains of plants and animals. If you can collect the photos of them, you can collect and make a picture and list. I get to know Mary Anning was fossil collector from England whose findings contributed to important changes in scientific thinking about prehistoric life and the earth history. So this is on page number 15, students. So there was also a fossil fuel collector named Mary Anning, and whose findings contributed to important changes in scientific thinking about prehistoric life and the earth history. So she was a girl from England and she collected some fossils, and by that we would be understood to know the prehistoric society of earth and history. So what is metamorphic rocks? This is third type of rocks. And I beside you, if you see the medieval period in India saw an extensive use of red sandstone. It was used to build several monuments such as Qutub Minar, Red Fort and Jama Masjid. So this red sandstone is used in medieval period. So what is metamorphic rocks? The term metamorphic has been derived from the word metamorphosis, which means change of form. The form and characteristics of these rocks undergo a complete change when igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to extreme heat and pressure over millions of years. This change leads to formation of metamorphic rocks. So students, here we have studied two types of rocks. First was igneous, second was sedimentary. Igneous, which forms by the magma beneath Earth's surface, and we see sedimentary, that formed by sediments collected. And what is third? Metamorphic, that means if two rocks, igneous and sedimentary, stayed somewhere for a long time in high temperature and pressure, that time it becomes metamorphic rocks. Students, it becomes metamorphic rocks. So slate and marble also, you can say both igneous and sedimentary rocks when stayed somewhere for long time in extreme heat and pressure. So over millions of years, while that metamorphic rocks formed. So slate and marble are examples of metamorphic rocks. So students, you have slate and marble are examples of metamorphic rocks. So students, you have to understand that the marble which are so precious and had been having some economic attraction, but you have to understand why these economic attraction is there, because that marble had taken long, over million years of time. By that, after that of time, it becomes marble. So metamorphic rock is from hard pressure of and hard temperature of igneous and sedimentary rocks. Due to change in the chemical composition, limestone changes into marble, shale into slate, and sandstone into quartzite. So by some chemical composition we do that, we make these metamorphic rocks, and these are the main characteristics